MC, straight out of LA in Los Angeles. So I'm gonna do another recap of this Boyz II Man. We're gonna be like like I said, like y'all been seeing on the posts and the screens, that flyer. It's gonna be a whole lot of things going on, live scans and all that, and talk about employment, investments, and just everything. Apprenticeship programs, things of that nature. So we even have like ex-felons that been out of prison for so long. They got their own program. So to make a long story short, this is 49 seconds. Oh, I hope I do not be struggle screaming. Welcome to the program. Let me cut on the chat. Let me find the first video and put on my specs to make sure I don't struggle scream. You do like this, MC. You press the file thing, the file folder, go into videos. I'm talking myself through it. And the first one I would like to get, let's get our boy right here. Stop the video. 9 years old. Should I do this one? This one. Here we go. Now, I'll do it like this. Thank y'all for showing up to the program this evening. You know, your boy really wish he can like speed things up. But in the meanwhile, check this out. Seeing the scores, having to live with that by the time I get 12, 13 years old, I already know who I'm hating. Yeah. So this is but no. Seeing the scores, having to live with that by the time I get 12, 13 years old, I already know who I'm hating. Yeah. I already knew who I was hating. So the only thing they needed to do was point me in the right direction. Yeah. So, I began my journey there, but I always had a mother that was always over my head. So it was a journey for me because I had to balance it all because my mother made sure that I stayed in school. Made the 12th grade before I was arrested for 3 counts of murder and ultimately convicted of one. I was sentenced to 45 years of life, and I did 25 years straight on the level 4 yard. And I was released in 2016. I did 5 years high risk parole, and I just completed that last year. Well, I tried to. I went to one of those experiment clinics myself, and because I wanted to see if I qualified, because I've been here and I've been a part of the community, but unfortunately, it doesn't apply to me. But what I can apply for is what's called a certificate of rehabilitation, which is equivalent to that. But you know, the attorneys that are working with me said I still need to give them 2 years. So it's just another hurdle to go past to get to another 2 years before they can do that. But I'm with it. Amen. All right. So, because like I said, since I've been back, I've targeted my community, the community where I popped my gun at, the community where I created all the things that I created at, and that's what my mission is, was to go back here and that's right. Do what I told God I was going to do to get here, which is be the face of peace in the place that I was the face of hate at. So, and that's what I've been doing since I've been here, and it's a tough road. I've lost a lot of friends that don't see me the same, because I don't stay the same, don't support the things that I used to support. So it's a lonesome work. But God is with me. Yes. Come on. All the boss still ain't got it right. He's on trial.
Oh, like 28. Yeah. We're having what I say? Networking next. Where we gonna tell everything we got going. I got a whole calendar for the rest of the year. Let him to the shot. Let me speak some tongues. Exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can think or ask, say, the God of overflow, hey, the God of overflow, hey. Seems like I'm a church and I was like, give us all good. 9 years old, seeing the scores.
So that was Bernard. He got a curriculum of curriculum that guys can do after they did a long stretch to get a certificate of rehabilitation, and this is the work he does, and then he do it throughout various neighborhoods. Maybe on the next video I should have had the name of his program, but that's in the video I did a year or something ago when I interviewed him. So here comes the next clip. I'm not going to hold y'all up. Shoot, I just got finished making the chicken burrito. That boy in there eating nachos and a chicken burrito with black beans and some fried rice. So here comes the next video. And this one gonna have some fire on it. So let me see. Don't struggle stream MC. Go to Windows, go to this. When you go to this, you go over here. So other words, I think it's this one.
I know you're not that itis, but I need your energy to be a little bit higher.
Yeah. I don't think I did this twice. Did I do this right?
Maybe a little bit higher.
Well, let's get the motivational guy out the way.
Yeah, amen. If you're just paying too much.
Now, this guy, he is a motivational speaker. I forgot his name. He was speaking a long time. So let's get a load of this right here. Here I go with the semi-struggle screen. Here he is. Ready? Let's go.
You're just paying $2 every month, ain't got no money coming off that. If you're just paying $2 every month, ain't got no money coming off that cell phone, it's an expense. That gift is so special. That gift is so powerful. I see so many beautiful brothers and sisters coming here today. And you know what I'm saying? Don't judge a book by its cover. Just listen to what comes out of their mouth. And the wisdom that they were sharing here today was so profound that once your mind can stress today, you won't go back to the same size. I guarantee you, when you leave here today, your brain is going to be so stressed that you're going to say, wow, I got a lot of powerful information. It is time now for me to execute that. Stay singular focus. Don't try to do 12 things. Narrow it down. When you have a sun in front of what do you call it? The thing that makes magnifying glass, it can set a piece of paper on fire. Why? Because it's what now? Focus. 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 Can you say focus? Focus. Focus. You'll see a box getting ready for the match. Keep focus. He's zoning. He's there. Talking to himself. I'm about to bite his ear. I'm about to when you lost last week, I'm focused. Your mama's on drugs, I'm focused. You on walking, I'm focused. You taking the bus to work, I'm focused. Focus. specialty in this area. I'm gonna give this one a specialty in this area. I'm gonna give this one. But I need them all to work together. To work together. This is powerful. Brother, get up. You'll get this good. On your feet, soldier. Help that brother. Shake his hand. Then you turn around and you help that brother up. And say, you got to get that here.
Wait, you stop here. Wait, my whole here.
You get it both. Come on, let's go.
Help that brother. Help that sister up. Help that sister up. Who wants this thing?
Come on, man. Put that phone down 1 second, bro. Give me some love.
Help my sisters up, help my brothers up, help my youngins up, help my seniors up, help my community up, help them up, and help them up. You get the God when you got it all bundled up, I get this idea, this thing I want to do, I've been dreaming about, man, you can't get nothing else in. Because when my cup is filled up to the top, how much more can I put in it? So I must do what every day. Pour it out. Man, pastor right here. Pastor be pouring out. Every day, every week. I mean, that's how my faith is every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He's there. Showing up. Rain, snow, sleet, or hell. He's on the job. Why? Because he's focused.
Yeah, so y'all see, man, this thing was so quick. See, this thing, he did it so quick. Nah, it's a two-part to that. It was like he was playing, going a long time. And it's another video up in here that I seen. So I'm gonna try to get that one there. I should have pre-text everyone, but I don't know. Is he right here? Let me see. Who's this?
I know you got that itis, but I need your help.
No, not that one.
So seeing
Yeah, because on the other video, I'm gonna bring them back.
Young man,
And I think it's this one. So, excuse me.
My name is.
No, we did that one. So what I would have to do is to get this long one out. Let's hear from my boy right here. This the one. I found it. So a hole in there, right here, right there. Let's go. Now, this guy here is the musician.
the brother be so busy, but he's been on
The
every
teacher?
single.
yes.
He is a part of this plan. He said he came to support. He's a part of the family
Boyz and plays in action. So don't let
He is a musician,
He has a lot of things going on, and he's still been
a
supporting.
school teacher
And the Black Task
on
Force.
various subjects.
Oh, man. Bless God. Thank you. Thank you.
A humanitarian school teacher.
This is a wonderful opportunity. And I heard so much. Really didn't prepare anything to share, but like I said, authentically, I really wanted to come in and have come to listen and learn so much. Safe spaces to speak, to feel like we belong.
Hey, I had to stop it. He left out a lot. Oh, excuse me. He's not only a humanitarian teacher, he's a multiple instrument teacher also. I don't even know how many instruments he really play. I saw him play the bass, the drum, the guitar. Woo! And that's Brother Sir Bailey, and he does something called the Living Well Tour. So let's get finished watching them and enjoy this show.
You know, pigmentation and all that stuff. Really, I feel good that we're in a space where like a lot of people trust and believe in Christ already, but not everywhere everyone does, and that's okay. Except for it's not in terms of like, you know, I love you, and so I've never been incarcerated, and often people that's a problem in the space, you know, because it's like why are you here? You haven't been impacted directly, you know. And I said because we are one.
Put it on top of the food or something.
In Isaiah, Christ said that we are anointed.
Oh no, just put it in this one.
Bind men up, broken hearts, and those are everywhere. And it actually says to open prisons. Yes. It says to open prisons. Man. Like it doesn't just say to set captives free, and that's in there too. But it says open prisons. And then, like on different board of supervisors meetings and talking with, you know, because you voted for Measure J. You said we want alternatives to incarceration rather than an over-bloated probation and police budget. It was everybody that said that. And everything that gentleman is saying right, we don't look into how does a CEO with one swift of a pen change it right back to, and even when young men die in Mary J. And so we'll close them and move them to Los Padrinos, a place that was already closed down. No, home. But home has always been challenged for us, right? Because at home, we may start to teach our kids to read, and slaves can't be taught to read, or they'll be killed. And those that teach the slaves to read will be killed. And Native Americans, if you want to, say a lot of people think Spanish came from South America. A lot of people think that they think, like, I'll speak Spanish, so, you know, and forget the colonizing. I've been so excited to hear trust, because, you know, there is the banking idea of trust. There's also an architectural trust, you know, that keeps things standing up. And then there's that emotional trust that we have when we're vulnerable, and when we share, and we listen, and we're really expecting the Holy Spirit to move. Yes, us first, so that we can move others, right? Tell me what to say, what to do, when to do it, and in that obedience, you open up multiple radio stations.
All right. So that's Sir Bailey. So let me get y'all up to par. Now we're gonna hear from Chase Bank, some of the sponsors, the flyers and stuff. These are some of the sponsors, but let me let y'all have a nice taste of the investment strategies that, these are young man plus us, plus young man, grown man. All of us in the room need to pay attention to. So, without further ado, Windows. Is this it? Let me make sure because, man, I'll be up here stabbing that stuff.
People that find ways to kind of go through the loopholes. Exactly. So thank you for that. Thank you for being brave enough. And that's one of the things.
Yeah. So y'all heard him last time.
And I know y'all got that.
Here we go. I found him. He was on the video I did the first day. So here he comes.
But I need your energy to be a little bit higher. So first and foremost, I would like to tell Pastor E, P2P, Ms. Rosamond, thank you very much for making this happen. You were the man behind the scenes. I first want to just start by saying that this is not about Chase. This is about you guys. This is about making sure that we provide resources to Black and Brown to where we can bridge this wealth gap that exists in the United States of America. I like to start, my conversation by not making this financial. I want you kind of to realize who I am and where I came from, because 20 to 25 years ago, I was just like many of you young men that are sitting in this room. I was surrounded by gangs. I was surrounded by drugs. They actually were running through my house, running through my churches. And, I learned a lot of life lessons through these different circumstances. It taught me adversity. It taught me how to be strong. But at the same time, I'm sitting here listening to these brothers who came off of vacation, and I could have easily been one of them. And because of God, because of my foundation, I was able to make it through. A lot of times, I found myself walking in my home, and at the time I was an all-state athlete in football. But when I walked in my home, because of these different circumstances that I faced, I was often walking into my home where there's no furniture. I would open my refrigerator and there would be either a stick of butter or ice tray. And many times I thought my mom was teaching me how to be romantic because she always had candles on, but in all essence, she couldn't get a light bill. So, JP Morgan Chase has allowed me to come into our communities and say these things, but the one thing I love about JP Morgan Chase is they put it on filter on. They allow me to speak the truth, and I'm very culturally sensitive to our environment. So without further ado, I'm going to speak to you about some of the lessons that I've learned, but it's not about me. It's about me being where you're at. It's about making a difference in your life because I'm halfway through my journey. Now it's about my future leaders. It's about my brothers who just came home. I understand that there are resources for you, and there's going to be brothers like me that's going to help you get there. Like, I don't do this for the paycheck. I do this because I have a certain target.
Homeboy be moving. So
and
when I was
my
there,
journey, you're going to understand why I'm telling you this. So, with me growing up in poverty, not really having the resources to really ask my mom and dad for anything, I was more of a hustler than being smart. Until I found out how to make that hustle turn into being smart. And a lot of things I did is I took my outs. So when you were in these neighborhoods and these homies tell me they love you, I actually had homies who loved me because they know I had an out and they threatened to beat me up if I stayed on the block. That's somebody who truly loves me. And why I'm saying this is because part of my journey of teaching you guys not only about financial health, but also about building generational wealth, ownership, about building up small businesses, about workforce diversity. It's about learning about my journey so we can relate a little bit better. So, saying that much, the things that I do with JP Morgan Chase, I am the quarterback of what's called the racial equity commitment. That is a $30 billion commitment that JP Morgan Chase has made to our communities that look like us across the entire United States. My role as a community manager is to go out here and give these resources, but there are 30 of me in California, and there's over 150 of us throughout the entire United States. The pillars that we operate around are one is financial health. Now, financial health is essential because even without the knowledge, what are we really going to walk into? So when I'm looking at these young men and young women, and even individuals who are in my age bracket, it's never too late to start. And I don't want you to kind of make that excuses because I'm going to be very frank with you. In our community, we're used to making excuses. And it's time to stop.
Yes.
We got to sit here and we got to take advantage of these resources because if you don't take advantage of the resources, financial institutions are going to move that money somewhere else. So that's the first thing we have to do with the call to action. We got to take advantage of these resources. But understanding about financial health is not hard to really understand. It's about having like habits. It's about creating like different types of things that are important to you. So historically speaking, and I'm looking at all the shoes in here, it's important for us when the latest pair of J's drop, that we're the ones in line. Or when the newest video game drop, we're the one at the video store. Or if there's a gold chain to be had, we're the first one to go and buy a gold chain. But just imagine people all stock. And Adidas or Foot Locker. Now those people who were standing in line, they're putting money back in their pocket. Or on the reverse side, if you sit there and look at, just saving, $1 from drinking some coffee, because I know you have your coffee drinkers in here. Just ask yourself, is drinking some coffee, and saving that money every day more important than home ownership? Because here in LA, let's speak about it. If you can afford to live here in LA, you can essentially afford to buy. Right? You just got to sit there and stop, knowing the difference between a need and a want. Like a lot of us want these habits that aren't making us any money and it's keeping us in the cycle. So saying that much, we want to not only know about the budget and savings aspect because that sets the foundation. Because then you start separating, like I said, those needs and wants. You need to have a roof over your head. You need to have water running. You need to have the lights on. You don't need to be turning up every day. You don't need to be wearing the fly shoes. You don't need to be driving a Benz or a Porsche and you living in an apartment. So, I was telling you, my mom told me I was going to be a preacher, and this is the closest thing I've come to it, but I found my calling because this is something that's near and dear to me. And I'm able to speak to my people, I'm able to speak to you real. Now, when you think about that, the key element to not only budget and savings is the power of credit. And I tell you this because I faced this journey on my own. My mom never believed in credit. She believed in, and don't get me wrong, because I know this is religious organization, she believed in praying to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Now, I believe in Jesus, but I also believe in the power of credit. And I know the world we live in. When we walk into institutions, they already look at us and let us strike on our back. But if you walk in and your credit is right, they don't see color. They see that. And I want you to hear that one more time. I always want you to pray, but hey, I'm going to tell you this. I'm a landlord myself. And I love the Lord and all that, but when it's people that's coming to rent my apartments and things like that, I'm looking at your credit score. Right?
See? Did y'all hear that? See, he's talking about credit score. Get your credit score right. I just finally got my credit score pretty much right. Well, I got my credit score right. But now I'm practicing another way of budgeting. And it has something to do with paying my bills one way. And I found a financial mentor. And man, it's a trip paying with a credit card and then trying to load it back up to keep that score up and do different strategies. But it's some more out there, and I'm still learning. So let's get back to the show.
Because God is good, but when that rent needs to be paid and that person's not paying that rent, I'm taking food out of my own family. That's right. And I'm not doing that. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Also, with the habits, you're going to start to feel a certain type of way. You're going to start to get a certain type of experience. I'll give you a quick example of like my own two boys. I started all my kids.
Yeah, see, where's your phone?
One is in heaven now.
Your
But
phone? Bring it
when I
here, boy.
started this journey with my kids, I learned a lesson by sitting down with one of my clients about starting their credit when they were 15 years old. I put my kids on my credit cards. I never gave them a credit card, but I put them on its authorized users. I started to sit there and see their credit start to generate. I started to then start to evaluate this over a period of time. And I started to see the power of it. And then I take my son and get his first car when he's 20 years old.
Yes.
The best thing about that was, because we were sitting right across from the Caucasian young lady, and she's sitting there looking at her with these eyes, and she's just sitting there, she's like in amazement, probably in her mid-30s. And I stopped her and I said, "What, is there something wrong?" And she's like, "Actually, there's not." She says, "I want to ask you, how did your son get his credit? Let him do the talking himself." And at that point, this is the point, the thing I want you to take from this is, my son said with the clearest, he's like, "My dad talks about finance in our house." At our dinner table, we talk about finances. We talk about borrowing now, paying later. We talk about if you have a credit card, you should have the money in the bank to pay for that credit card, as opposed to paying interest, just making all these banks nice and shiny. Like, I work inside the institution, so I'm not gonna let my people get into, paying all these fees. And that's what that's called predatory lending, guys.
Yes.
And I need you to hear it. Now, when you think about the budget and the savings, you think about the credit aspect, then you move into the biggest power move of them all. You're looking at somebody who was a lifelong renter my whole life. I was moving every 2 or 3 years. Mom was working 16 hours, but I didn't know where the money was going. It was going because she had an addiction. She was caught up in life. So at 23 years old, I moved to LA. And for all of you young men who are thinking about if you want to go to college or not, go to college.
Yeah.
Because working a 40-hour-week job after Uncle Sam, you're not going to be happy, especially without education. Because if you're making $15 or $20 after you take that 30 to 35%, it's really only like $12 or $13.
That's right.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing: I have 4 boys. I have 3 boys and a girl. But with this, think about when you're sitting down with your parents and they tell you to clean your room, or they tell you to clean that bathroom. You don't even want to do it for them. You live in a household paying no rent. Imagine when your boss says you want to clean that bathroom and he paying you $13 an hour. You're like, "I ain't doing that." And you're going to quit. Well, I'm telling you that is the state of California gives away money. You guys can go to junior college and get an AA degree. Financial aid by itself gives you $15,000 a year. If you keep above a 2.5 GPA, they give you another $5,000. You do the math, that's $20,000 tax free. That's not including any scholarships that you apply for that are out there. I just finished a financial health workshop at Morningside High School. I saw each one of those kids walk out between $5,000 and $45. Now, when I'm talking about going into home ownership, I bought my first house with that college money because I could not ask my parents for that. And when I bought it, there was a lot of people in the peanut gallery because I bought it off of Slauson and Alviso, which is the 60s. And they was like, "Oh man, you don't want to go over there." And I was like, "Man, they're my people." I was like, "They look like me, they talk like me. They don't mess with me." I was a businessman. They saw me come in my suit, got in my BMW. They actually gave me more protection than when I was in West LA. Yeah. Because I move like them. I talk like them. I didn't switch up. I keep it real. But when I did that, it taught me about building generational wealth. I took that one house that I bought for $199,000. I didn't know SoFi Stadium was going to be built like 16 years later. That investment turned from $190,000 to $900,000. I borrowed off that, and then I bought apartment buildings. And this is somebody who came from nothing. The reason why I'm telling you this is because anybody sitting in here, if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Because I didn't know anything about financial wealth when I was growing up. I know about living from paycheck to paycheck. Now, when we talk about building that generational wealth, a lot of you young men or young women may have like grandparents who are now maybe about to pass away. That's where the trust, these wills, these things are powerful because we got to keep it buck. I don't care how close you are to your family. When it comes down to like property and things like that, somebody pass away, man, things get sticky.
Yeah.
And the person you thought loved you the most is going to be your biggest enemy.
Yeah.
But these trusts can spell it out, and it will distill all that. It will actually keep your family together. Because the trust can say deliberately, if anybody contests this trust, that they forego anything that they were left. Yeah. So it cuts out all other weapons that's there. Go ahead. What's up, man?
Okay, so quick question.
Yes.
Basically, it's a story that's going on with my father right now. So, I'm 18 years old. My father was incarcerated for 13 years. So he had about 16 years. And while he was in jail, he had to go through money. He had a trust set aside for him. He's the only son out of 6 siblings. And when he went to jail, shortly later, his mother died, my grandmother died, 2009. When he went to jail and his siblings heard life sentence, they took the family trust. And they took all the money they have. But the way they set it up is fraud because they took the trust in 2012. And my grandfather died before my grandmother. So when she died in 2009, I can the trust get switched in 2014. And then they did another deed in 2021 recently, and my dad got in 2022. And they didn't know he was going to die. And now he's out in court about that. So what do you say to them taking all the money and everything else and then posting up? Because they it's good for the house to they said hi, they offered them, they did something so they go their own, and now they're scattering around trying to find different things, and my dad had all evidence all over.
So, I would love to give you a clear-cut answer. Unfortunately, this is something that we're trying to get past in our community because it happens quite frequently.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I explained to you kind of prior to that. The legal system, one thing you can't do is contest the trust. If it's in black and white, the question is this property still in your family? Because if it is, that's an asset. Through the court system, they're going to go by what the trust said. And if that money's gone, then somebody's going to be responsible for getting it. And I know you got that itis, but
Yeah, y'all. So he said something. See, I went ahead of myself on that first video I did last week, and that's the young man that he was responding to. So I'm gonna see if I can get some of that clip for y'all so you can hear the response. And I gotta do it like that. That is up here somewhere. I think it's, I'm trying to see.
people that find ways to kind of go through the loopholes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So thank you for that. Thank you for being brave enough. And that's
because it's the trust. I found it. So I found it. So what he basically was talking about was this.
go through the loopholes. Exactly. So thank you for that. Thank you for being brave enough. And that's what the key. That's what the key to us winning is because sometimes as black men, we don't believe that you're supposed to be vulnerable. You're not supposed to show weakness. And that's wrong. Yeah, that's the total opposite. This young man had enough courage to speak about what's going on in his life because he wants change. That's right. And that shows me that you're on the right path. You keep fighting where you are. And you're gonna be the next leader of the world. You're actually gonna be standing up here and JP Morgan Chase is gonna be paying you a lot of money to say what you just said. That's right.
Now, let me tell you the reason why I'm saying, one of my friends, he had an excellent friend. He was in Boyz house. It almost made it.
You know what I'm saying?
He had an idea of what he was doing. So, like a year after he got the house, so when he got it, he put on an application as well. So, he wanted to take a second. So, on the application, they gave him one interest rate. It was a good one, but it wasn't good to him. So he turned that down. So he waited a little while. He went back and he put on his application.
So I would be lying to you if I told you that certain things like that do not exist. That is a form of what's called redlining, which is illegal. So know your rights. The one thing that you don't understand is, let's backtrack to what I told you about credit. I know that I'm a black man. I'm proud to be a black man. Yes. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna put my credit in front of you and make you make a decision off that. Because if I show you I got the habits, see, I address the elephant.
See? So that was it, right on that there. So he addressed the elephant in the room. So I'm gonna keep it short because I don't believe, like, a lot of us is gonna stay up. If you're in this stream, I see four people. Just couldn't go back in at the beginning. You see some. You'll see Bernard talking about his being released from prison program and on how he got his record expunged. But not only that, created a curriculum. A curriculum for other ex-felons to recover from the hood life, the neighborhood life, and get back on the right track. So and to be at least and also to be a voice for the community, a positive voice for the community. So with that, I'll see y'all until next time. Oh, shoot, okay? And hopefully I'll see some of y'all July the 19th. And I'm put the thumbnail up there and let y'all get a gander at some of the vendors and stuff. We even gonna have veterans there. So until then, take care.